and I've started recording. So we should be good. And let me make sure there's enough space so it's not like videos. I'm sorry, man.
It's fine.
Taking up a lot of the time, but let's make sure everything works, you know? Alright, everything should be good now. Alright, we can get into our first game. Let's see what this pilot's all about.
I'm kind of nervous, not gonna lie.
Well, there's nothing to be nervous about. You just gotta do your best.
Go!
Forward smash? Unfortunately for you, did not get it.
Yeah.
Ah, Ren.
Oh.
Overextended there.
Yeah. It's kind of lagging still.
Nah, rip, too far.
Yeah.
That was a good first game.
Yep.
Managed to take a stop, which was really good. Really good so far. Let's see if you can do a little better in your next game.
Yeah, I hope so.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ah, that was good. That was really good. I didn't expect that again.
No.
Ah, Rim. How long have you been playing Violet?
I think like since it came out, but like I just play like for fun. So I was like, I love Fire Emblem, so give it a try to play more competitive with Violet.
To me, it seems like you're making a lot of Violet mistakes from like when players like it's like you're making mistakes when Violet was first out that a lot of players made.
Because I was like looking for some YouTube guys. They're like pretty old. 'Cause, I mean like old talking about Violet. Cause like no one likes Violet except MKLeo, like famous players. So I didn't find any.
Have you ever
extras.
checked out like the Violet Discord?
Nope. Maybe I'll join.
Yeah, I would recommend joining that after this.
Alright.
Just recently, actually, I fought one of the Violet's Discord's best Violets.
Yeah, so there was a coach that said something.
There's a coach that said what?
Like in the description, they were talking about the Violet Discord.
Oh yeah,
So that's about that.
they were talking about that?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, good game.
Right, man, you had a really good first stop. That game was a lot better
thank
than
you.
game one. Were you a little less nervous?
Yeah, I think so.
That's good. Usually that happens whenever you stop being. Oh, wait, he's not like godlike, you know. He's not like the
Yeah.
best. When you see like coach, you think, oh my god, they might be like the best player in the world. But no, I'd get destroyed by like MKLeo, you know.
Yeah, but like, I actually like these like Proguides stuff because they can give me like some tips like for the frame data, all that. So it really helps.
You might have seen the whole frame data thing from my last coaching session.
Maybe.
Yeah, the review from it.
Oh yeah, that one. I saw the review.
I would
So, maybe-
say in this session I'm not gonna get too much into frame data.
Yeah, I think it's just like what you said takes.
Ah, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Ah. Oh, man. That sucks. That was good, though. Oh, my God.
Thank you. No. Nice one. No, good game.
GG's, man.
I
Alright,
won.
so I just want to know before I start going off, what is your main goal to improve? What's the main goal here? Do you want to improve, or are you
Yeah.
looking for something else? Is it just improvement?
Yeah, improvement. Cause like, I was like in Elite Smash, like today actually. But when I start playing there's so many good characters that can beat my Violet like so easily. So I wanted to improve my, to say like my game style, to play against like bad matchups for Violet.
Alright, so matchups, I don't think that's the problem here. I would like to say, I want to ask before. Do you understand what neutral is? Do you understand what advantage and disadvantage are too, as well? First, let's go with the first question. Do you understand what neutral is?
Like do you mean like the neutral attacks or?
No, like neutral in this fighting game. What would cause neutral? Or do you not know what neutral is?
Not really.
All right. That's gonna be. We're gonna first start off with advantage, disadvantage, and neutral. Advantage and disadvantage are self-explanatory. So when you have an advantage over the opponent, and the disadvantage is when you don't have an advantage. It's like you're in a bad spot
Yeah.
and all that. That's the obvious one. But right now, the disadvantage and the advantage in neutral is something that you need to understand before trying to get into this game competitively.
3, 2,
Neutral
1,
is when both you and the opponent have equal stance. So if we were both standing right here in the same spot, we have the same amount of stage control, and we have the same amount of options as the other opponent does. Correct?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to run up, I can run up. But if I were here and you were looking at me like here, I don't have the ability to run up and do anything. I would need to hold shield, and you have all that stage control where I do not.
Oh, so I have like the advantage.
You have a slight advantage just because of the stage control, but it's not enough to make me not have options, right?
Mm-hmm.
So neutral would be when we have almost the same amount of options, and we're in like the same amount of positions to use those options. So I can approach and you can shield, and then if I touch your shield, then you can possibly do something. But if my move is safe on shield, you need to like back off or something like that. But that depends on the amount of stage control the amount of stage control you have as well. Neutral is a very complicated thing to go on right off the bat. So the main two things we're going to be looking at are like your disadvantage and your advantage states. Neutral will just be that one spot that's going to be the most complicated, but to easily understand it to a point is to know what you can take advantage of in advantage and what you need to know when you're in a disadvantage spot. Alright?
Alright.
So when you're in advantage, most of the time you're going to have all this stage control, or the opponent's going to be above you because they only have a limited amount of options to land on you. They have the double jump, they have their air dodge, and then that's how the opponent can land on you. All right. So let's say you're in the advantage right now. I'm above you. You have enough options, such as your up air and up tilt, because those cover a lot above the air, where my Lucina, all I can do is use my double jump, try to get to ledge area, or try to land on a platform and hold shield, where you can also take advantage of that by using up tilt and up air. I can't do anything about you using up tilt or up air, because then I have to drop down and then use an attack, where you can just use another tilt, like up tilt or forward tilt, right? So I have to choose something to get off this platform and to reset neutral. When you're in advantage, you're trying to make sure the opponent stays in disadvantage, no matter what. But if you think you can win neutral, you have to have a way of the opponent getting, or like you have to know what option the opponent is going to choose when trying to get out of disadvantage. So let's say the opponent's trying to get out of disadvantage by jumping over to the ledge. You let them jump over to the ledge, they have 5 options off the ledge now. You can either use down tilt if they stay on the ledge too long to get them off the ledge, so then you can use like forward air or run up nair so that they're back in that disadvantage spot. Or you're going to pay attention to the 5 plus the secret 6th option off the ledge. So let's start off with those 5 options. Is neutral get up,
So like
jump get up,
when you're
roll.
what?
Like those 5 options on the ledge. I'm just going over them real
Oh, okay,
quick,
like
yeah.
roll.
Yeah, like the neutral get up, the roll, the jump up. I see. Really,
That's one option.
any that is an option actually. No. The 5 options would be neutral get up, roll get up. I just did it again. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
It's fine.
So you know the neutral get up, roll, jump off the ledge like this, and get up attack, and then that 5th option being double jump forward air, which I've seen you do. So you know that one. That's
Yeah.
the secret 6th option I'm talking about. Is just using the invincibility on the ledge. When you have invincibility on the ledge, you can sit there on the ledge for a little bit, and then you can get up with that invincibility. So then you have more invincibility to use. So you can be on there for a little more than a second if the opponent's trying to like use a lot of attacks on the ledge. So if you're paying attention to those options, then you see the opponent choosing one specific option every time. Let's say like roll. You can use like down smash to cover that, and then they'd be back up in the air in a bad spot, and then you can just chase them around. Right?
Yeah.
So when you're in an advantage state, you're doing your best to keep them on the ledge or above you. Otherwise, if they land on the ground and you're on the ground here too, you're going to play out neutral again. If you can consider what kind of spots we're in when you're in an advantage state and when the opponent's in a disadvantage state, that should help you improve a little more by playing a little more patient and just deciding, okay, if they're going to choose an option, I'm going to now cover that option instead of letting them land back on the ground and then you've reset neutral. Right?
Yeah.
So now disadvantage is just what I said, is what I said, but you're in that opponent spot. You're trying to choose an option to get out of this disadvantage spot. And the opponent has options to beat out your disadvantage options. You are very limited when you're in a disadvantage state. Does that make any sense?
Well, like, it does. But like when I'm ballot,
yes.
so if I'm in disadvantage and I'm like here, right, above you, so like how can I like recover easily as a violet to like get a neutral again?
Now, it depends on the matchup, of course, but not every character can go and juggle like Violet can with her up air and up tilt, right? So what you're going to want to do when you're in that spot is figure out, okay, so this character has this option to cover all these different areas, right? So let's say Luciano, you see this massive up tilt? This
Yeah.
massive up tilt can cover at least this platform, and if you decide to air dodge, this up tilt can also like force you back up into the air to make you choose an option. There's two ways you can get out of it, or out of this disadvantage area of being juggled. It's either air dodging, jumping, or it's either air dodging through or jumping through, or even using an attack. Or let's say you're trying to land. How about this? There's two ways. The first way is trying to land back on the ground, and the second way is just going to the ledge. Now, to land on the ground, you have 3 different options to choose for that. It's either you're jumping, you're attacking, or you're using air dodge. Or even the fourth one could be you're just going to land back on the ground and tech the ground, or something like that. You're going to be in tumble somehow. If you don't choose anything. You're going to be in tumble if you don't choose anything. Which can also lead into a tech chase, but we'll get into that later. Those 3 options are your resources. Your attack, or your double jump and your air dodge are resources, while the attack is just challenging. While the fourth one is being a little more patient about what you choose. It depends on how you mix up, but those are your options. Now, it depends on how the opponent is going to try and keep you an advantage. If you think the best play is to get out of disadvantage is by going to the ledge, you jump, you use your resources to get to the ledge. So you don't always need to jump, but you use those resources to get to the ledge. It depends on positioning and everything. It depends where the opponent is. If the opponent, let's get back into this game. Let's say the opponent is on one side of the stage and you're on the other side. It's probably better for you to land on the stage than when the opponent is under you, right?
3, 2, 1,
So
go!
let's say you're over here, or the opponent is where you are. Wait. Okay, that was very confusing. Let's say I'm the opponent right here, right? This is where the opponent is. And let's say you are over here. Of course, it's going to be better for you to be landing on the stage than going all the way to this platform to lose all that stage control if the opponent decides to run all the way over here to try and catch you, right? You would rather land at least on this part of the stage, or even just try to land on this part so then you can drop through the platform. So then you're on the stage instead of choosing these 5 options on the ledge, right?
So like, if the opponent is trying to chase me, it's better to get the ledge, right?
It's better for you to get to the ledge. If the opponent decides to try to edge guard you, what you're going to be doing is you're going to air dodge right past it, right? That's the way you can get past it. Or you can just air dodge through it and then try to use your up special to go to the ledge. Byleth is a special case because Byleth can up B the ledge right here around. If I were playing Byleth, I'd be able to up B around here, and then you can insta tether by pressing the direction to the ledge. That's a way you can get to ledge faster if the opponent decides to try and hit you and try to get you away from the ledge by ledge guard or edge guard, either one. And if the opponent really isn't chasing you, you can choose to not go on to the ledge immediately. You can land on a platform, or you can drop down and reset neutral that way. There's a lot of things you can do, but you gotta realize your options to get there. Is there any questions on that?
Not really. It makes like so much sense now.
All right.
Like what's it?
That's very good, actually. I'm glad I was able to explain that, because when you're a newer player to Smash, that part can be pretty hard to understand right away. So I'm glad you can understand that part. It depends on stages as well, because the stage can be big, the stage can be small. And the platforms like Smashville has like this small part where the stage doesn't cover all the way down here. Plus the blast zones are way closer to the stage than how Battlefields is. So if we were playing in Smashville, technically the stage would have ended right around here, and around here if it was this side. In the blast zone, if the platform was here, the blast zone would probably be around here, which is way closer to the stage than you would think it would be, right?
Yeah.
That's just an exaggeration because I'm not exactly perfect on it. But the part of the stage could matter on what could be a bad position and what couldn't be. But in general, it's bad to be above the opponent, and it's bad to be on the ledge and right around this area on the ledge. Just because you don't have any stage control. If the opponent was like right here, yeah, if you're standing here, you're in a really bad position. You're still limited on options. So stage control does matter when it comes to being in a bad position or not.
Yeah, like it makes so much sense.
So now if you take that into consideration, if you try to mix stuff up, you'll start to see you're making patterns on what you're doing. Because when we were playing, you had a pattern of always like jumping out right after hits done. Like after I would hit you with like an up tilt, you would always like jump after, and then you would try to land with like an air dodge, which you're using both resources to try to land on me. That's
So you mean like to use all the resources I can to...
You shouldn't
take
be
the
using
advantage.
all the resources you have.
Oh, okay, okay.
Remember, when you're using an option, you're creating more options for yourself to land. Well, I didn't even say that part. I was going to say when you use an option. I feel so dumb.
It's fine.
Whenever you use an option and disadvantage, you end up trying to create more options for yourself to land. That's what I was going to try and get into, but I ruined that part. Oh man. Alright, anyway. Whenever you use jump, you would always use those two resources, which isn't really the best thing for you to do. When you're put in this bad position, you're going to use your resources to create more options for you, as I've said like 3 times now. But when you create those more resources for you to land, it's either you like jumping to either land on the platform here, or trying to land on the ledge here. You can use your resource to mix up on how you land by using air dodge as well, but you're not going to be doing that as Byleth because of how slow Byleth is as well. Those are ways you can start to like mix up how you like land as well, but that's kind of where that goes to when you start playing a little more. When you get a little more experience and when playing against a lot of different people, you'll see how useful it is to either choose to land on the platform or to land on ledge. So hopefully your advantage state and your disadvantage state are a little better in understanding, or understanding your disadvantage. Either way, I hope you understand that.
Yeah.
The whole air dodging thing, when you're trying to air dodge through people, you end up, when you're like in a tumble state, let's say you're in a tumble state now, you see how you landed on the platform there and then you hold? That's what happens when you're in a tumble state. If you press the R button when you're landing on the platform, you end up teching the platform. And what you can do, here, let's like test that out. Do you understand what teching is in this?
Not really.
Every time you press the R button, or whatever your shield button is, you're doing a tech animation, which is what you just did 3 times in a row. So it looks like you got that one down. You're able to tech on walls, floors, and ceilings. Most of the time, you're going to be either teching on the wall or the floor. So you know when you watch Smash gameplay and you see like people teching on the bottom parts of the stages, they're surviving stage spikes technically. And when you survive a stage spike, you're doing pretty good for yourself because you're not dead. When you survive the stage spike, you're back into this disadvantage state where you survived death basically. If you were to miss a stage spike tech, you're probably gonna die. I don't know what's going on with this. This is all right. Anyway. Teching is pretty important for you to know because then tech chasing becomes a thing when you're in a disadvantaged spot too. Because when the opponent decides that they want to try and attack you and you decide, okay, I'm gonna go and air dodge right through them, that either means you might tech on the ground because of the tumble state, or well, yes, or you're just not gonna tech at all and you're just gonna land in shield. Most of the time you're just gonna air dodge right through and then you're gonna land in shield. But whenever you're too close to the stage, you're gonna just auto tech on accident most of the time. Yeah, let's get you to a spot where you can do like a tech roll. So what you can do to mix the opponent up, because most of the time after you tech, you will have a little bit of vulnerability. So the opponent's going to try and take advantage of that. And if you were to tech it, can you tech it real quick? Ah, no. Try not to jump. Try not to jump.
Okay. So I just roll when I...
No. Just tech it like normal. So I can show off the vulnerability of it.
Attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try not to land with an attack. Tech it. When you press shield on the ground, remember. Right after a tumble state.
Yeah. You
see, you wouldn't have been able to shield that. Because I hit you before you could even shield. Let me show that up again. Try and shield after you tech.
I try.
You see, you're still vulnerable. So to mix up with that, you can use a tech roll. You can roll forward and you can roll backward. It depends on you can basically do a roll after teching. And what you gotta do is you gotta hold that direction after teching. Alright?
Yep.
So try that now. You missed it.
So like right when I touch the ground, you mean?
Yeah, right when you touch the ground. Right when you touch the ground, press the R button and hold a direction. Except for like up and down. Left and right.
No. Right when...
There you go. See, that's a tech roll. You can do it in both directions. You missed it. It was too early. When you air dodge, it's too early.
It worked. Okay.
There you go. So you see, you're going to be sent at angles that look very close to this most of the time. You see, you were sent in a tumble, and I sent you in a direction where you would need to tech in that situation. Because look what I can do here. I almost hit it. I swear. I was going to hit that one.
Yeah.
Okay, eventually, at some point you're going to get hit by something like that.
I think it's because of the... Because I was like 160.
Yeah, you were being sent pretty far, and I had to dash for it. But learning how to tech rolls at something like that, so I'm not like getting ready to forward smash you when you do a normal tech, basically. You can avoid like a forward smash like that and just tech roll in, and then you can punish me for trying to punish you for teching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there any questions so far?
Oh nope, not really.
So it's all like making 100% sense. Yeah.
It works on platforms too, right?
Yeah, it works on platforms too. Yeah. Give it a shot. There you go.
But like, do you hit first the R button or
It's really any shield
just...
button. It's whatever your shield button is.
Okay.
You're rolling whenever you tech. Just hold the direction and press the R button. There's an air dodge. Too early. Whenever you roll, you're not doing like a roll tech. you end up doing attack and then you end up rolling after. Just press the R button and then hold the direction or while doing it. That would work. You did it too early? Doing it on a platform is a lot more difficult. Try and do it on the ground here. There you go.
Too early.
There you go. Now try doing it on the platform. See, the timing is a lot more difficult when you're not doing something that you're used to. Right?
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen a lot in this game. So learning how to tech is pretty useful, actually. You're gonna die at some point here.
Yeah.
There you go. You're getting it. Now I want you to try to tech the down tilt I'm gonna do here. You can, just to show you how hard it is. There you go.
Oh.
Second try. That was pretty good, actually. You can see how difficult it is, right?
Yeah. Oh, I did.
Try doing it in now. There you go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay! You died. But yeah, teching can put you in a good position, but there's this thing called tech chasing, like I said earlier, right? And what happens when you're in tech chase is I can either guess what direction you're gonna roll, or whenever or whatever. Let's say I'm gonna either figure out what direction you're gonna roll, or if you miss the attack, you choose an option after, and I try to figure that out as well.
Okay, I like to rate it.
Ready?
Sorry, what?
No, nothing. I was thinking like.
So, if you were to choose a roll out every single time, I would dash to you and try to be like, okay, I am going to. It's not gonna. You're not gonna be able to tech it every single time just because you're not 100%. But here, I think just a little more percent will do it. All right. Hopefully this does it. No. It's pretty high percentage. There we go. So let's say you were going to roll it every single time. I can just follow you rolling and go for like a forward smash. Like that. That's what you're gonna want to avoid, getting forward smash like that. So that's why I'm saying you should like roll or just tech in general and then press shield after. Of course you're gonna be vulnerable. There's nothing you can do about being vulnerable, but choosing an option that will make you less vulnerable, or mixing it up from like rolling out to rolling in, or to even missing the tech and using a get up attack. Timing matters too, but just knowing that you have these options in your disposal helps you out immensely more than not knowing them at all.
Yeah,
And
like it makes so much sense, to be honest. Like how all the pros do all that stuff.
yeah, because they understand, okay, I'm in a bad position, I should be a little more careful. And then when they're in a good position, they're like, okay, I can challenge and get back safely. Like if you were off stage, I can run around the stage. I can run over here and run over here and get nothing out of it, but I can do that safely while you're off stage. I can do all this stuff being on stage while you're off stage. But if you're on the ledge, I have to be like here. Otherwise, I'm giving you all this free space by standing over here. So if you were all the way off stage there, yeah, I can run around and everything. But it's 10 times better for me to go off stage and go in edge guard you. Byleth can't really do that, but it's better for me to go off stage and use like a forward air as Lucina and back air as Lucina, because you're in a bad spot and I can go for it. Of course, there's a lot more to it, but in simple terms, that's what that is. And that's kind of what your advantage. That is what your advantage and disadvantage states are. Disadvantage had a little more to it because advantage you can get through pretty easily.
Yeah,
Where
just like
disadvantage
try to
is
hit
something
the
you really need
corner.
to learn right off the bat. So is there like any questions about advantage or disadvantage? Like advantage I went through briefly, but disadvantage I had a lot more explaining. Is there anything?
No, I think I understand.
Right. Would you like to talk about neutral, or would you like to play some games just to kind of get that in your head on what's disadvantage and what's advantage? And everything?
Yeah, I think it's very good place.
Yes, it's probably better for us to play games.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, man? All this new stuff.
I mean, I think it was worth
Future
one,
is
to be
not
honest.
written.
I'm glad I was able to teach you some new things about Smash. That was worth
It
it.
really helps.
Ready?
So try to keep that stuff in your head when you're playing.
Gotta keep it. So you're gonna like publish the videos later?
Yeah, it might be a day later.
Okay.
I'll have it uploading tonight, but I won't be able to know when it exactly is until like tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And that's in like East time, by the way. It's not like PST.
Yeah. Eastern.
That was a good dash attack, by the way. Carrying everything. Ah, that was so good. That was so good.
No. Nice.
See how the tech situation mattered there?
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in after one session, right? I gotta
Yeah,
say.
cause like I'm taking like everything, so I'm like, what should I do now?
You're scaring
No
me
way,
here. That was magnet hands. Oh, that was magnet hands and a half.
Please die. Oh no, my.
Good DI. Never mind, I can't really do that much about that one. Do you know what DI is?
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I know like about it. Cause like sometimes, always that I watch a YouTube video, they talk about that, and I understand it, but I don't know how to explain it.
I'll send you
Again,
I'll send you a BP Smash Dude video explaining it as well, actually. And you should be able to explain it after. Do you know who the BP Smash Dudes is?
Nope.
Oh well, you'll know now. How long have you been playing Smash, by the way?
What?
Yeah, that's Lucina
sorry.
forward Smash for you. That's Lucina forward Smash for you. How long have you been playing Smash?
Future is not
So, like, trying to get competitive, I'll say some months. I don't know how many months or something. But when I was a kid, I used to play Smash Bros. Brawl for Wii. But like, I was like, say 8. I'm 16 right now, so I didn't play that much. Then with the Smash 4, I'll say it wasn't competitive. I went to like tournaments as a kid, but I didn't know anything about it. I actually didn't have a Wii U. I played on a DS.
I can say I was the same. I can say I was the same, man.
In Smash Ultimate, I was like, you know what? I want to be like to try to play more competitive. So I'll say since Smash Ultimate, like trying to get better at the game.
So you played Smash 4 on 3DS?
Yeah.
Was it more like a casual way where you play with like items and everything?
I just played with sometimes with this finals, the Super Smash Bowl, this final Smash. But like I used to play with my brother sometimes, but like trying to get competitive, but like it's impossible to play competitive DS. So.
Well, I played competitive on DS actually.
For real?
Yeah, because I didn't have
Wow.
a Wii U at the time. I even streamed on 3DS actually. A lot of people knew me because I was the best Link on 3DS at the time.
Wow.
Of course, I probably wasn't the best Link on 3DS because a lot of people could play on 3DS and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass at it. But you know,
Yeah.
I played a lot of Smash 3DS. And when I finally got my Wii U, 3 months later, Smash Ultimate was announced.
Oh.
So yeah, I was pretty like, oh man, I just got a Wii U and I didn't think Ultimate would come out, you know. So I was pretty sad about that one. But, you know, new audience basically, which helps out a lot. Wow, with the competitive scene.
No, I don't know why.
Was that intentional?
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm getting a phone call. Sorry.
Alright.
Let me hang out.
No worries.
Wait, sorry.
Take your time. Take your time.
No, I'm ready.
Oh, you ready? Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played a lot of Smash 3DS for competitive. And then when I got my Wii U, I kicked people's asses, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're a good Smash Wii U player," and I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And then Ultimate came out, and I started kicking people's asses in locals. I was always online, which was like, all right. But then when I went to locals, it was like 10 times better. I won like 3 tournaments before this whole thing happened. And then I became a coach when the pandemic actually happened. Cool backstory about your coach.
Yeah, I just went like to 2 local tournaments.
How did they go?
Really bad. Really bad. I mean, I think I just won like 1 game.
You won 1 game and that was it?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, sorry. It's... Okay.
Hopefully.
Is that I got a phone?
You got another one?
Yes, some friends that they're just bothered right now, but I got it or blocked them from. But
Sounds good.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, cloud dash.
Should have
attack's
blocked.
crazy.
Yeah.
I think you were thinking, oh, I'm gonna use get up attack as my option to get him off me. I gotta say,
Yeah.
with Byleth, her disadvantage is really awful. It's god awful. So I can understand. I can understand why you were like. So how do I get out of disadvantage? Byleth disadvantage is awful. Like it's so bad to a point where it's like you're very limited. And when you're in advantage state, you're pretty much winning half the time. So you have Byleth has an amazing advantage state, but has a really shitty disadvantage state.
Yeah, because like the opponent, it just need like to get really close to Byleth. Like my only option, that's what I think is like the neutral air.
No, you have more. It's just with neutral, it's very difficult to tell sometimes. Right now, I would say just focus on your advantage and disadvantage. Neutral can be explained a little later. It's just try to not always jump right after hit's done. Whenever you're hit, right? In neutral at least. Just try not to jump immediately. Your options do matter when it comes to what happens next instead of what just happened. Like, what just happened, let's say that the thing is, what just happened is, let's say you got up tilted. You immediately jump because you're like, oh, I need to get out of here as fast as possible. You see, the opponent can chase you, and you've already used up your resource. Let's say they up tilted you again, and now you don't have a jump because you tried to land. Well, what are you gonna do there now? You don't have a resource of jumping. Well, what do I do? Well,
Dodge.
you go to the ledge. Because most likely you jumped to a part of the stage, either left or right, and now you can either air dodge in and challenge even harder, and possibly get punished even harder, or you go to the ledge and choose an option out of your 5 options there. When you choose an option, you're trying to make more options to do more things. Not...
Yeah, to get the advantage, right?
Yes. It's kind of the same thing with neutral, but when you're choosing an option, you're building up to get more options. And when you're in neutral, you're at that point where you have the same amount of options as the opponent, which is where you're both equal. But when you're in advantage state, you basically have unlimited options. You're able to do whatever you want. So it's like building from the ground up. But you're given equal footing from the very beginning. When you're put in a disadvantage state, that's when you lost neutral. That's pretty much the simple definition of it.
Yeah.
All right. How about let's do a best of. Yeah, let's do 2 more games. I'll play Pit. I'll show you where I'm at with my Pit.
Okay. Yeah, you mean Pit, right?
Yeah, Pit. I mean him.
That's good. Yeah, I like to play against like not usual characters, cause like, so I can learn the matchup.
Matchups are pretty important, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can learn it.
That back air was really good, by the way.
Wow.
My air almost hit you, by the way. It was so close. You're not. By the way, you're not at a point where you're gonna win the thing yet. I just want you to know that. If you decide to get more sessions, we'll get there. It's just right now you're at a point where you're like at a super beginning level competitive. I just want to point that out. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Alright.
I try to like put some more points. I don't know how is it called, like Proguides?
Yeah, Proguides points. That's what they are. I would say give it a week to practice this kind of stuff, to realize, okay, this spot I'm in a bad spot, so this is what I'm gonna do. Realize you're limited on you're in a bad spot, and then realize that you have better options than what you're choosing when you're in a better spot, right? Just take the time, to do that for about a week, and then let's say, I don't know, I don't know what days you're gonna be free, but let's set up a date for next week if you plan on getting more, and then just take the time to practice this kind of stuff.
Okay. No. Okay, I'm gonna try to practice with all that. I'll join arenas and all that. Because I can't do anything because I got COVID, so I just need to stay home so I can practice birthdays.
Oh, I hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, I'm better now. Thanks.
Sounds good, man. One more game and then we'll be done for today.
It was fun, not gonna.
I hope it was.
worth
I'm
it.
supposed to make it fun and informative. That was actually kind of crazy, I gotta say. Oh! Don't mind me, just dropping shields.
No, he's like a good secondary for Violet that I could try.
I would actually have to ask my friend about that. Because he's like a crazy good battle. I can even show you a video of me playing the best battle on the Violence Discord. I don't know if you've seen that. I'll send you a link to the video of it. And,
Okay.
I have a friend that I can ask about that, and I can talk to you about it next session if that's possible.
Sure. I'm just happy because I got a stock, so.
It's better than getting 3 stocked, right?
Yeah. No way. Oh.
My arrows are crazy, man, I gotta say.
Yeah.
That was
All
easy.
Right, it was like really helpful. Thank you so much.
No problem, man, no problem. I hope you enjoyed the session today. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know you did, but I gotta say that anyway, you know. And you can leave a review about our
Yeah,
the
sure.
session by clicking end session. I'm just saying how to. I'm not saying you have to, but
No, I'll do it.
you can leave the review by clicking end session, and I'll send you a report card that'll be on the site, and it'll just be saying what you need to do to improve and it'll have like a list of what you should be doing, and you can look at it and be like, okay, this is what I gotta do, and then you practice it, and then yeah, I mean that's what the report card is gonna most likely be used for. And I'll
Okay.
text you when that's done and when the video is done as well.
All right.
So I'll leave it at that. I hope you have a good rest of your night,
Same.
and I'll talk to you next week.
Sure.
All right, see you later,
Alright.
man.
Bye.
Bye.